Hello YouTube, I hope you're doing well. I've been a bit lazy, I've not posted for a couple of weeks. I have been touring with my group Calidad, so I do have a good excuse. I've been up on the road and it's not so much that I didn't have spare time, I do get some spare time. It's more that my beautiful wife Mariana was not there to film me, and how boring would it be to sit there with a still camera instead of having the camera moving in at appropriate moments. So back home, had a really good tour. I want to show you something I've been playing with. It's a bit of a game, bit of a musical game, bit of fun. Musical symmetry, and what I mean by that is pieces of music, or licks in this case, that can be played the same forwards as they can backwards. A bit of a game, bit of fun. This was something I learnt from my basic studies of Johann Sebastian Bach. One of the things he would do would be like compose a piece that could be played obviously forwards, but then you could have another instrument as a duet played the same thing backwards at the same time. I always thought that was quite wonderful, and I play with some of those ideas. So without further ado, let's do the most simple version I can think of right now. We'll play on our high E string, because I often play my high E string. 0, 1, 0. Now it's pretty obvious if you go 0, 1, 0 or backwards 0, 1, 0. That's the same thing. So there's our most basic symmetrical lick. Now I'm going to start to expand that slightly. 0, 1, 4, 1, 0, 0, 1, 4, 1, 0. You see it makes a shape. I sometimes think of them as pyramids because you're kind of going up and then you're going down and you're going up and down equally. One more time, 1, 0, 1, 4, 1, 0. Same backwards as forwards. I start adding in a new high note, so now I'm going to go 0, 1, 4, 5, 4, 1, 0. Just going up that E Phrygian scale. That's the top of our pyramid for now, and back the same notes. I will put the tabs on Patreon for this, but basically I'm just adding a note. Right now all I'm doing is adding a note as I go up, and then we go back down the same way. And we're building these kind of increasingly tall and maybe increasingly pointed musical pyramid structures. Well, we did 5, so let's do all the way up to 7. I'm going to go 0, 1, 4, 5, 7, and then I'm going to go back down. That kind of thing I do quite a lot in my playing anyway. I'll chuck the eighth fret. I do that kind of thing a lot, running up the scale and running back down the scale when played with tremolo picking, speed picking, things like that. It's pretty effective, and with open strings. So if I do that 8th fret idea again, but I'll do an open E string in between each note. It starts to get pretty fun pretty quickly, and that's playing with just my thumb. You know, if you're playing with a pick and it's playing fast, you've got some distortion, you've got some palm muting. It starts to get pretty fun, I reckon, but where this technique or theory starts to become increasingly interesting is if you start to do bigger melodic jumps. So for example, this morning, as I was preparing for the video, I played something I've never played before, and I wouldn't have played if I wasn't preparing for this video. I went 0, 1, 4, 12. And then backwards 4, 1, 0. Now I'm not saying that's the best sounding guitar lick of all time. What I am saying is that it's by playing with this technique, forcing us to develop new melodic ideas we may not develop any other way. And at the end of the day, that's what my lessons are always about, is giving you a bit of a push, and giving myself a push, giving us all a little bit of a push to go pick up that guitar, have a play around, and maybe rather than trod the well-worn path of our playing that we all usually have, our habits, which can maybe in a good way be your playing style, or your playing habits in a bad way can be called being stuck in a rut or a plateau, kind of playing the same things. We can bust out of them by doing things like that. So one more, I'll go 0, 1, 5, 12, 13, and I'll go backwards. This is something just off the top of my head. That's kind of cool. Maybe I can do something with that later. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Today, obviously use different scales, use different strings, all the different tricks in your arsenal. You could do it with chord progression. So you could have a chord progression, I don't know, just quickly. C, C, D, C. That's pretty topical with all the virus talk lately. C, D, C. Symmetrical chord progression. I could go C, D, C, D, G, D, C. For example, you know what I'm saying. Have a play around. Don't copy me. use my little suggestions to find something new for you. Now it's time to turn off YouTube and pick up the guitar. Thank you very much. See you next time. Jump on Patreon if you want the tabs. Jump in the comments if you want to have a bit of a chat. I get in the comments as much as I can. I can't reply to every single comment. I do get busy and the channel's growing, which is phenomenal. But get in there, have a bit of a yarn, look after each other. Thank you very much.